Last year, I paid over $25,000 in credit card fees, and I'm happy about it. This is why I willingly gave up $25,000 a year. For over 10 years, I refused to accept credit cards. I had clients pay me via check, personal checks through the mail. I know, old school, right? I'd wait for the mail, I would open up the check, take a photo of it with my phone, and deposit it into my bank account. It worked, but it tied my income to my mailbox. And the moment I realized that my income was directly tied to me being home and opening my mail, that's when everything shifted. But what I didn't expect was how much more it was costing me to not accept credit cards and how much freedom I was giving up. So my old way of getting paid was, once we signed the contract, the parents of the bride would mail me a check for the deposit. 20%, personal check, easy, right? No fees. It would come in the mail probably like a week later after they told me they'd sent it. I would wait for the mail. I would get nervous about like the mailman maybe forgetting which mailbox to put it in, something getting lost through the mail. But I would get the checks and open them, take a photo of them with my phone into the app of the bank, and that was the process. And then it would take another 3 to 5 days for it to really land in my account. At least twice a year, there would be some kind of lost check situation. The parents of the bride would have to send another check, cancel the one that they sent. It was a whole thing. And then when I was traveling, there's no way for me to get paid because I had to wait to get back home to open my mail and deposit the checks. So I remember I took a surf trip to Costa Rica one year. 10 days, I couldn't make money because I was out surfing and not home opening my mail. My revenue was location dependent, and that's a dangerous place to be. So when I started looking into credit card payment systems, there's always like a 2.5% or 3% fee that goes with all credit card transactions. So I was doing the math, and at one point I remember it was like my first initial calculation was like over $25,000 in fees that I would lose, that I would have to pay for that year. And I was shocked. I was like, man, I could buy a car with that. Like, I started going through my mind all the things that I could buy with $25,000, and it drove me crazy. I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. And also, I didn't want to pass that on to my clients. I didn't want to say, oh, if you use your credit card, it's 3% more. You know, that's kind of tacky. It's not my style, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants to have that additional fee on top of their invoice. I wasn't protecting my money. I was protecting my comfort. And so one year, I just finally did it. I sucked it up. I registered for the thing. So it was just a link that I sent, and they could pay everything. In like 30 seconds, they could make the payment. And that's when everything changed. Clients loved it. They could use their credit card for all the payments and get all kinds of like travel points and credit card points for their honeymoon, for example. So they were loving it. People don't want friction. They want convenience and ease of use. And so with this new platform, I would get notifications every time a new deposit came in. It was so easy. It was so fast. I could be anywhere. I didn't have to be home. And that's, I switched exclusively only through payments online. Even if when clients offer to pay with check or some kind of a transfer, I would say no, only electronic payments through this link. And wow, what a game changer, especially when I was traveling. And I remember this one moment which really blew my mind. I was in Mexico over the winter surfing, and I was in my bathing suit. It was getting close to sunset. I had my surfboard in one arm. I had my phone in the other one. I was, maybe doing some social media, and I got this notification. New deposit came through, new contract came in. And I remember holding the surfboard. I was walking towards the surf spot and signing the contract with my thumb on the app. Boom. And that was it. I closed the deal right there with my surfboard and on my way to surfing. It was that moment, something really clicked for me. I realized that I didn't lose $25,000. I had bought freedom. And I can honestly say that since I have implemented credit card payments, I've received more revenue. More clients came in because of that, because I made it so easy for them to pay me. Money will flow where friction is low. And some costs are investments. It's not a fee, it's more of an investment in my infrastructure. And so it's really important to build mobility into your income. If you can't get paid unless you're physically present, you don't own a business, you own a job. So I factored it all into my costs in my business. I raised my prices slightly to account for that additional fee. And I just included that in all of my packages to all of my clients. And so I never once felt that $25,000 leave me, but I feel the freedom that I gain from it every single day. Guys, I'm Claudio, the band leader, bass player, and owner of Mod Society. Check out this video where I talk more about business and strategies, and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.